Congratulations on this, Nathan. I really, really enjoyed it. And I have to ask you, you have this amazing script, amazing storyline, but it's not going to work unless, of course, you have a great cast.
Yeah.
These two kids, like, were you pinching yourself like gift from God?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking all the time. This is a gift from God. Watching them was a reminder of gifts that we get, and it's extraordinary.
Tell me well, let's start with Sophie. Let's start
Sure.
because, we love her here. She's amazing. We know she's so talented. But what was it that you saw in her and you thought, she's going to be able to handle? Because it's a tough role.
Tough role.
Yeah.
So it was very important for us that we cast actors that are the age of these characters, because we wanted their bodies and their psychology to be honest. And then secondly, and equally as important, they had to be very mature psychologically and emotionally as individuals and as actors, because the roles were incredibly challenging and mature. And Sophie and Josh are, as mature as any, if not more mature than most adults. They're incredible.
Yeah, really. They just handled the material so well.
Yeah.
And then you have, I was telling Colin Fewer that I said I had a bone to pick with him because I don't like to see him as a bad guy, as I don't like seeing Bill Paxton as a bad guy. I'm sorry, I love these two men,
Exactly.
So, wow, again, these two guys.
Yeah, an honor to work with both of them,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's been a dream to imagine working with them, and they were incredible. Not only, talented, we all knew they were incredibly talented, but on set, they just set such a great example for everybody, incredibly kind and generous and fun. And then to see Colm and Bill, goofing around, joking around, and then, camera rolls, and suddenly they're both very intimidating. It's always wonderful to see that.
Yeah, and another character in this film, which is very prevalent, is the location. Wow.
Yeah.
Shooting up there, what was that like for you guys?
Incredible. Second time up in the Sioux, and loved the community, and it was very important for us to have a world where the landscape would be varied as well, because this is very much a journey film. I didn't want to duplicate the look of the scenery, and the idea of, psychologically and emotionally, at this age, every day is a new day. They're moving into the unknown, so the landscape had to resemble that.
Yeah. How hard was it? What I loved about the relationship between the two kids is that they just needed each other so bad, what was going on in both their families and their lives and everything. It was just done so tenderly and so real. How much did they input into that? Especially, what stuck with me so much is that motel scene, where they were finally had to be in a motel together, and it was just so lovely, It wasn't about sex. It wasn't about, just how much did they put into stuff like that?
Well, it was a constant dialogue. Every scene was a constant dialogue. So it was, it's kind of a group decision.
Yeah.
But it really goes from, it always starts with the script. And the whole film was building towards this most pure and innocent of kisses. So that scene in particular was we started at 8:30 at night and we had to wrap at 9. So it was a very intense. And it was our last scene that we actually shot.
Wow, okay, really?
Yeah. And that's why we wanted to preserve that moment. And make it had to be just so perfect.
Yeah. What really challenged you making this one?
We had to move incredibly fast because working with two underage actors, you lose a lot of your time in a day. Being outdoors 75% of the time was a great challenge, but also inspiring. Those are the practical challenges were the biggest.
Yeah. So what are you going to bring us next year or the year after?
Hopefully, hopefully next year.
I know you got to keep up your, you got a good track record with TIFF, right?
Yeah,
so
very
I
good.
loved
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was such a great film. It must have been different, going from something like that kind of gangstery to something like this. How do you decide kind of what you want to do?
Yeah, it's what grabs me at the moment.
Yeah.
And this was true. And I liked the philosophy that it explored and the psychology it explored. And if it has those kind of elements for me, I'm in.
You're in. Well, good. We look forward to the next one.
Okay.
Terrific job on this. Really great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.